Hello my friends, welcome to another episode of Game Testing Unlimited. My name is Wilfred. So a lot of you in the past have asked me to try out this game called The Last Epoch, and it is on Steam, early access game, aRPG, the card genre that I like to play a lot, and you guys been saying that it's a really good game. Steam review is pretty good as well, and some say that it is not as complex as Path of Exile, but has more depth than say Diablo 3. It's a nice balance between the two. So I was kind of tempted, so I gave it a try. So I play around 6 hours or so. So in this video, I'm going to share with you my first impression playing Last Epoch, as well as very just genuine feedback on what I think works for me and what doesn't. So if things that doesn't work for you, and if it's a deal breaker, then it may not work for you. But if those those are not deal breaker, then it is a really solid game. So let's just by saying this, I would recommend this game even at the early access stage, because I see a lot of potential, and this really a nice, well-polished game per se. But there are some kind of things I also like to raise to your attention as well, in case you some of these things may not work for you. And I do so because I know that the summer sale is kind of ending soon, and if you like to play the game, now is a good time because there's a discount. So now I'm playing a primalist, and basically there are quite a number of classes that you can get. They are like the primalist, which you can you can actually branch out to shaman, beastmaster, and druid as well. You can have a rook as well. You can branch out to blade dancer, marksman, as well as a falconer. And then the Aconate, which is Lich, Necromancer, and Warlock. You can have Sentinel, right? 3 different subclasses as well. And you can have a Mage as well. You have Spell, Blade, Sorcerer, and Rune Master. So all in all, there's quite a few subclasses that you can play with, and I started off with a primalist because I'm kind of interested to see how a pet class work. As you know, I love pet classes, but I'm not going to create one right now. I'm going to play a little bit of this guy here, just level 21. Like I said, first impression, and I may change my mind as well. So do check out this channel from time to time to see how my journey with the Last Epoch evolved. I mean, looking back, like the Hellgate London, initially I kind of love it, the Steam version, but in the end, the Steam version was too buggy, so I switched to the multiplayer original version. So do continue tuning in if you are interested to see a little bit more on my journey. So let me just share with you things that doesn't work first. All right, and I'll end it in a pretty high note on what things work. And as I said before, I still recommend this game as it is, as an early access. Now, story-wise is pretty, to me, not memorable, because a lot of words there. I mean, if you play Diablo 3, you do have things like, voiceover, the character, the story is a little bit more tighter. Even Path of Exile, there's a lot of words, but then all of them are being voiced over. So you don't, I still get the story in Path of Exile, don't get me wrong. But like for this game, you have to talk to people. And you have to really click through a lot of dialogue. I mean, some of these are pretty alright, but some of them could take a while to get through all the dialogue and see what the story is. So I played this for 6 hours. I have no idea what the story is about. But I just hack and slash, which I think for aRPG, that's what it is. Yeah, unfortunately. But they do have a certain kind of I suppose, interesting mechanic whereby you have a map in this era. You can go back in time, whereby the map changes as well. You have different waypoint. You can go back to another era that's even earlier, which can have dragon or dinosaur, what have you, and go into an ancient era as well. Now, of course, you can go end of time, which is like go into the galaxy. So the time dimension is interesting, I would say. But like I said, I don't get the story at all. I don't even know why I exist in this game, except to whack anything that moves. So that is it. The tile sets could be a little bit generic, at least from my experience so far, because I keep playing this era, the ruined era, where everything is in ruin, right? So everything is just like dark and whatever. if I compare to Diablo 3, I mean, there are different tile set that's quite interesting from one chapter to another. If I compare to, say, Path of Exile, yeah, I mean, they do have interesting tile set, outdoor, indoor. But for this one, the tile set different could be when you go to different era, then they get a little bit more sunny and divine era, then whatever. But I don't really get that. So far, my time spent on Ruin era is all pretty generic. You can respec your character. So let me show you, right? This is the character. You can have skill, and you can have like a passive. So if you play games like Diablo 2, Grim Dawn, it's pretty standard, right? So you have like a passive tree whereby you need like 1 point to open this guy. It's quite nice. The interface is fantastic. So for example, if you go for things like the like a totem build, you need 1 point to connect to the next bit, and you need 5 points to connect to the next one. So it's pretty intuitive. The requirement may not be always 5. It could be something else. Some are not related, some are related. So it really depends on what you want to do. And overall, as you unlock the passive, I mean, progress on your passive, you get to unlock new abilities as well. These abilities doesn't come with the skill itself, but it come with the passive tree, which I find it rather interesting as well. And then after that, you could branch out to either Beastmaster or Druid or Shaman, I think. I mean, I haven't really figured out what this one really work, but I think eventually once I specialize, I say, okay, interesting. There are passive bonus like minus cost to totem. Druid is that you can transform, and you can have a Beastmaster as well, which is the have more beast you can be with. So it's interesting, and there are kind of like different kind of beasts that you can have, like a raptor, saber-tooth, kind of thing. And this is saber-tooth. You can have a wolf, you can have a bear. So there are multiple things you can get. You can have a serpent as well, a bat as well. So it's pretty much a Green Dawn. If you play Green Dawn, but I think Green Dawn has way more companion. This one at most is 2 right now, unless you unlock the Beastmaster, which is 3. But whether I like the pet build or not, I'll do another video on that. So I'm not going to comment on how this one, but it is interesting. Each class has a base class whereby you can specialize into different kind of like either be a pet or totem, a bit of like the offensive, a little bit of a defensive like healing or what have you. So you can have all these things around it, and then you can branch out to different subclasses to further specialize your character. So it's cool. I like it. So that is a really cool thing as well. And you can see that this is a skill tree for this is a skill kind of unlock. So in Diablo, for example, you could choose multiple skills as well, but to augment a skill is through 2 things. One is through the runes of the skill, and another one is through the gear. The gear may buff certain skill, interact with another skill or another rune. But for this guy here is pretty interesting. At most you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skills on your hotbar. So that's what you can do. And each skill can further specialize into things that you want. And this is pretty amazing. I mean, one thing I don't like about Path of Exile is that it get a little bit complicated when the whole kind of like a path get expanded into various kind of different area. But this one evolves around a single skill that you would like to further kind of like invest onto. And I think it's a really good design. Like for example, I like my wolf to be able to leap to attack. I like to be able to summon 2 wolves at the same time, so I don't need to have another ability for the for another kind of like pet or what have you. So that's good. Now, of course, by doing so, you sacrifice a little bit on other things, and I think at most you can do is 20. You cannot have everything. Otherwise, what's the point of trade-off? And also, I mean, you can have gear that add additional kind of like point, just like Diablo 2, I believe, and just like Green Dawn, you can +1 to say summon wolf, and then you can have more than 20, for example. But it is fantastic. I mean, the way that this is being designed, I love it. Now, the only thing I don't like about this is about respec. So you could respect it, but by respecting the tree that you have, you lose all the points that you collect, which is through the XP. So, as you level up As you kill monster, what have you, your skill level up as well, and the skill point that you have will then allocate to your things. So essentially what it means is this: you could say, maybe I don't want to play summon wolf. I want to summon Sabertooth. You could, but the thing is that you have to lose 9 points of wolf and go into Sabertooth itself, and then further level it up accordingly. Now, does it take long to level up? It probably take a while. But it would mean that it comes with a cost. Unlike, say, Diablo 3, whereby you could easily change your... I love Diablo 3, right? No, don't get me wrong. D3 is fantastic. You can just change your build anytime you like, experiment, anything you like. But this one comes with a cost as well. And also all the mastery point that you have spent here can be reset as well, but also come with a cost. I kind of like Grim Dawn, but I don't know how deep the cost is so far. I don't know. Once I get it there, I'll let you know. But I think all in all, what I'd like to share with you is that I personally dislike the restriction on being respecting a character. But I don't know. Some dig it. Like if you're from D2 kind of background, you'll love it. All right, cool. Now the loot drop is also kind of bizarre to me. So what happened is that like any other and this one, by the way, is closer to Path of Exile. You have implicit, explicit fixes. So implicit is the one, the yellow text. All this one-handed sword will have like base attack rate, melee physical damage, whatever. And these are the implicit. And some of them is explicit kind of thing. So you do have the kind of armor. We have plus armor, or have you. And there's a range as well. What I like though is the interface. So you can like look at the the explanation is very, very clear. There's no ambiguity like, what is a +3 vitality? Is it better than like, dodge? Well, you can see each point of vitality grant 10 health and 2% increased health generation. Simple as that. So, you don't need to think too much like what exactly am I trade off against? You should know what to trade off. So that is something I really like about this game. Or the loot is interesting. You can see all this thing, and that is something that I find it rather pretty interesting as well. But as you play, and later on I'll show you in just a bit as I play as well. The loot drop is very bizarre. It's almost like a Wolcen kind of like scenario. Maybe in D3 it was like that. So I'm already level, say, what level am I? I'm a level whatever. I'm a level 21. By right, the gears should drop around that level, but it doesn't. It drop around, ranges from 0 to 15 or 16, right? Which is still fine, if it's closer to my level. But if it's like, I'm looking for loot. I'm playing this game. I'm playing as a level 21, and I receive an item that's level 0 or level 1. So, wow, what do I do with that kind of information, right? Should I just throw it away or what have you? Of course, I'll throw it away. But it also shows that the loot drop is a little bit of Wolcen. It's just very strange. I don't get it why you give me a level that's so low when I'm, maybe the content is very low. I don't know. Maybe I'm progressing too slow. But not even Path of Exile or something like that. Even D3 or Path of Exile is pretty good as a loot game. It's like that zone drop the kind of gear and you get the kind of gear. But this is pretty random. It can be like no level 0, like level 1 or whatever it is. So I find it weird. And also the last thing is gender locking. The class are locked to gender. So if you like to play a primalist, you have got to play a male. Is it a deal breaker to you? I don't know. It is to me a very uncomfortable kind of thing to play, because I sometimes like to play a female character. I sometimes want to play a male character. But if I pick a class like Path of Exile, I have to stick with that character. So I prefer games like Green Dawn or Diablo 3, whereby I can pick any gender I like to play, right? If I want to play the class, let me pick a gender. I don't want to play a male for this class. I want to play a female Beastmaster or a female Druid. But somehow I don't think you can. So, in this game. So it's a bit a disappointment for me. I don't understand. There aren't really a lot of voiceover as well. So maybe just about character model with the gear and so on. They can't do too many kind of like model. Maybe that's the reason. But anyway, a plus point to it is that, as you can see, the build variety is fantastic. It's very intuitive to play. I can't wait to get to some of these points whereby I can summon a raptor or whatever it is, just to have fun with whatever kind of come along. So I love the whole sandbox kind of build variety, right? If you like to build stuff, this is pretty amazing. I also like the battle you'll see later. It's very interesting, I would say. It's very fluid. The telegraph is very good. So if you are fighting a boss like a big dragon, you can see that he's going to hit you in this area, and you have time to go around it or what have you to avoid the damage. Of course, pets are dumb, just like many other games out there. But I find it really useful. Like I play Wolcen, right? One thing I really get frustrated with Wolcen is that I just can't dodge it away with all this damage that come onto me. I can't react to it. But this is very good. You can do really well by avoiding certain damage. And you felt that, whoa, I've done it. I avoid some damage, and it doesn't really too punishing in a sense. You could take avoidance action, and that's good, right? Because you articulate what you want to do, from a character to the character inside the screen, right? So that is something I really like. And the other thing is that the mechanic is very transparent. There's a game guide out there. If you really want to look into some of this, some of these things out there, they give you all the formula. Even look at the armor. The formula of armor is that, 1.2x over 80 plus 0.5 times a plus 5 to the power 2 plus 1.2x, what have you. If you really want to do theory crafting, you can actually plug in a number and work it out yourself. A lot of games out there, like Grim Dawn, Path of Exile, it's not obvious. You have to go and search the internet on how to calculate certain things, how to do theory crafting. No, here is that, if you want to say, I want to work out how block works, well, there you go. This is the formula of blocking. Go and figure it out. Plug in a number. They tell you that it cannot exceed 85%, but you plug in a number. A is the zone's area level, X is your block effectiveness, plug it in, and you know what the number is. And it's fantastic. I have not seen a game that gives you the kind of transparency when it comes to theory crafting. And if you like to craft, do theory crafting like I do, this is like a heaven, sandbox. That's what I say. And they are crafting as well. I'm not going to go through that in one single video, but the crafting itself is rather interesting as well. And yeah, I mean that is something that I would like to show you in just a bit. The last thing is that there's something called the idols. It's bits and pieces that you can just fit into this whole thing here. Oh, I level up. So yeah, there are bits and pieces that you can fit into all this like idol. There are big one, small one, and just another interesting kind of like a mechanic that you can play with. I do have some idol though, like the dodge and what have you. So I can plug the idol in because I level up and I got extra slot. And I can do a small one, big one. These are the... Oh, man. What happened? Yeah, these are smaller one. I could get a bigger one, like this idol, take up 2 slot and what have you. So this is like a pattern, like a mini game on its own. Beautiful. So now, what is this character I'm playing? Well, this is like I like to play a pet, a hunter class, but like a melee hunter class. So I thought it's quite cool. Unlike the hunter class in Warcraft, whereby you shoot arrow from outside and the pet runs in. I am having my own wolf, so I summon 2 of them. These are my wolf. Just like my Pomsky, like a bit of remind me of my Pomsky, Bailey. But anyway, so that is the wolf that I have. Once I summon them out, you can do a howl as well, and so as to increase their grant them frenzy, increase damage as well. You could actually do a blessing whereby you could heal them as well as energize them. So you can energize them and they get energized. Supposed to be like like more energized. Now I can do a leap. A leap is fantastic. Look at that. So it's very cool. I have 2 totem as well. I'm not quite sure about totem, but I think the totem, if it can buff me somehow in the future, that's cool. And I'm using a physical swipe as well. So the swipe, I do it building like a AoE, but I also build a cooldown against it. Okay, so by right, and it's a good thing to showcase to you as well why this game is so cool, is that swipe on its own doesn't have any cooldown. But because I have this claws of the bear, which I choose to make it a cooldown, just like Marvel Heroes, if you remember, there's some kind of ability whereby I can just do basic, and then after that you say, oh, let's convert that to a cooldown, but the damage is increased by 70%. And then it can also slow a target. And of course, that interact with some of the nodes, like if I have this one here, whereby I will deal more damage to enemy that are being slowed as well. So that is what I'm going to further go into that. But once I level up this guy here, what I'll do is I'll put this one here called Natural Cadence, whereby I can still swipe, although my basic melee is on cooldown. Sorry, the ability is on cooldown, but I can still swipe. Why is it so? Well, it's important because I don't know whether I can show it here, because I have Hunter's Restoration. Every 3 seconds, my next hit restore my health. So the more I hit, the better. So right now mine is on cooldown, so it's not that ideal. But once I have that point there, and I could pick up this guy to continue the basic melee, right? And after that, I can pick up this guy as well, which is like Bane of the Trap, Diablo 3. No, it's not Bane of the Trap, but it's something like that. You just deal more damage to slow targets. And last but not least, all these things, they have all the scaling tech as well: spell, buff, instant cast, atonement, or it can have like kind of like melee feast, movement, strength, minion, totem, atonement, what have you. So it is very strict, transparent when it comes to the tech in itself. So enough talking. Let's do a little bit of hacking here. I've got like a question mark here, so I presume I need to go there, to do something. And yeah, let's find the oh, this is locked, so I have to go to here. Let's travel here. I go to this temple or whatever, right? So like I said, I'm not going to go into the story. Sorry guys. I know some of you really like to play a game for RPG. But if I like a story, I'll play things like Path of Exile or Diablo 3 or Wild the Myth as well. That is a pretty cool game, which I really like. By the way, there's a loot filter as well. I just haven't figured out how it works, so pardon me. I'm not going to do a loot filter here. I'm just going to just play the game. Now you can do a minus here as well. I think this already. Sorry, it's not minus here. Minus here. Yeah. So the I need to find the location of the of where I am, and it's really cool. This is a time travel, by the way, and you can go into like how did I level up? Oh, thank you. I level up. How did it happen? I have no idea. So I leveled up, but that's cool. And and I am going to. I haven't really figured out what to do next. By the way, so by the way, the pet need to be revived. It's just one of those things that that's how it works. I am not going to do much right now. Perhaps I would just man, this is tough. I'll just figure it out later. I probably not think about it right now. Now I could let me just do a mission. This one is kind of interesting. One day maybe I'll do it again. This guy will bring you to a dragon, to a different era for a dragon. But I'm just going to do something that I haven't done before. So yeah, look, it's not at all straightforward. So I'm going to do a heal for my pet, and yeah. So it looks quite easy. It is quite straightforward right now. It's still low level. So I've got like a level 5 item. Just like I said, just like Wolcen. It's like, what the hell? I whack something and it's a level 5 item and level 4 item. I don't know how it works, man. This in this zone is maybe a bit too low level, or I don't know. It doesn't tell you the monster level as well. So yeah, that's cool. So I'll ignore the blue item and I'll just pick up this guy here, which is a level 14. So it's a bit of leap, a bit of like, these are shards that you can actually pick up. So I'm going to do the the loot later. I mean, just too many things happening right now. But yeah, a bit of Green Dawn kind of feel, but I think Green Dawn has a bit of more kind of like tile set, I would say. Different tile set. But it's not as, how should I say, not as boring as Wolcen. I mean, Wolcen is also pretty, the tile set look like that, but there are just not many mobs in between. That's how I find. I mean, I'm just keeping it real here, right? Sometimes I like something, sometimes I don't, and if I don't, then I tell you why I don't like it. I think that's why you come to my channel, just for some very honest kind of like feedback on things, whether I like it or not. Yeah, so this is it. Just whack my way through. Yeah, so a health on hit, melee shot, another axe could be useful. So I'm just making my way through it. Okay, I think there's some excitement there. Yeah, my wolf actually leaped onto that area. So there is or maybe, you know what, I should be like, you know, part of Exile, just like skip some of these mobs. But some of these are elites, by the way. Elite always drop you some rare item, which is kind of nice and handy. And later on, I'll see whether there's anything that I need, that I want, and accordingly. Or maybe I just need to look for the... Yeah, this cleric. Yep. Okay, so this is like another elite. So that's done. Another elite-ish kind of thing. So I've got another item. So I need to find the temple, which I think I'm getting there. Is it elite? No, it's not an elite. So let's just go. Yeah, loot-wise, let's see. I'm at the courtyard. Yep. So just a bit of loading. My computer is getting old these days. So I've got a few items here. You can see a level 7 items. Okay, I don't know. Level 7 is a good thing or bad thing. Could be a bad thing. So melee coal, I'm not using it. You can transfer this crafting item to the whatever the your stash. So this is interesting. Level 16 increase minion health, cold resistant, fees resistant. I think I'll just go stick with whatever I have. Oh wow! My pet just did it while I was looking at loot. Isn't that wonderful? Pet class always fantastic, isn't it? Level 15, block chance. It's my glove, yep, minion damage and whatever dagger. Okay, that's good. Let's just see. There's another waypoint that I've got. Okay, let's see. Fantastic, awesome. It's done. So I presume I just need to you know, get to the place up there, just and after that any elite now close by. Okay, cool. Can I just jump to there? I probably can't, huh? You know, other games I could. Okay, so this is not the one. Let's see. There will be a final boss, I assure you. That's how this game works. Usually there's a boss. Wow. And sometimes if you explore a bit, you could find a chest as well, and the chest could be rather useful. Yeah, so far just shots and so on. Yeah, I mean, I'm just seeing whether there's a chest or not. Sometimes there's a chest. Yep, there you go. I mean, it does reward you for being adventurous a little bit. Okay, an idol. The idol is the one that looks like that. Oh, this is nice. Plus 9 health. You can see that that would be increase of maximum health, and I think I'll just maybe I'll do this one. yeah. So this is stun chance, stun avoidance, stun chance. Okay, good. I think I reconfigured that. And meanwhile, my pet already lay mayhem to the stuff around, which is fantastic. So I just press on a little bit on the on where things are. These are blue one. I need a bit of XP as well because I want to get to that part whereby I can just spam my melee. Now it's a little bit like cooldown intensive, which I never quite like the kind of play. But it does remind me a little bit of Marvel Heroes though, by the way. The kind of like build or the kind of trade-off that that we usually have. Okay, so things are getting a bit hairy. I do have because there's elite there, and I try to avoid the frontal damage of this guy as well. And you can see that, you see telegraph, you know, the telegraph that I talk about, you can go around it. I'm healing my pet as well. I mean, the fight does take a while depending on how good your gears or the spec is, but it's not as punishing as say Wolcen, whereby, you know, it's just not making it sometimes. If your build is not, oh wow, this is a bigger one. Okay, so these guys are getting a bit hairy. I hope that it is rewarding to do up this one here. I think my DPS is pretty terrible. Somehow it's just not working. Okay, that's done. One more here. Okay, it's done. Okay, let me just grab whatever it is. Yeah, I mean, I could also take a look at the inventory. I think none of these are really useful for me. Level 13, that's probably not something I would use. I could of course go back town, just like Diablo 3, to drop some of this gear or what have you. Now let's see. I want to show you the boss, and I don't know whether I can do it or not. But another thing that interesting is, you know, even if you shall, you know, fallen or whatever. Wow, this is like a trash mob, and it's quite challenging. Well, they're not trash, but you know what I mean. Let me just ask him to focus on this guy. You can actually ask the pet to target as well. Whoa, I got hit. My bad. Yeah. I think I have to get rid of this nest. The nests are nasty. Cool. There is a... Ooh, there's a shield. Could be worthwhile. Let's see, I got a shield here at level 3. Exactly what I meant, right? It's just bizarre to have a level 3 items out of this like fight. The loot are just weird. Maybe I'm reading it wrong, but doesn't seem to be very inspiring sometimes. The reward doesn't seem to be there. Yeah, I mean, that's my view. Okay, these are the... let me see whether I can... The totem, I can put some points to it. So I've got I've 2 points. I can have this one here. Yeah. So maybe I'll do another one here. Okay, go further and faster. Totem. So I don't know whether this totem kind of like a build kind of work or not. Whoa, what are these? Bear of the Hawk? Wow. Some of these I haven't seen before. Weird stuff. I mean, the crafting is quite interesting, by the way. You can actually fail. Some crafting that's not stable, what have you. I thought it's quite interesting. Okay, I've got another shield, level 15. Oh, this is quite interesting. It reflect damage. So yeah, so that is that's another shield I could potentially use. that increase the minion's health and 7 damage reflect back. So, you know, maybe I'll give it a shot. I don't know. We'll see. And 2 hand sword. I'm not using 2 hand. Let's see whether I'm getting near to the objective or not. I suspect I may not be though. Wow, these are... I think I aggro too much, huh? Yeah, there's some explosion going on for sure. Okay, let's see. Whoa! I think I was just too enthusiastic. I don't know what happened. It's just too many of them. I don't know whether... Hang on. Ooh, there's a lot of chests here. I missed that. Let's see. I can just like... yeah, so you know, that was like a defeat there. Out of nowhere, I was like, huh? What happened? And then boop, that's it. I think I was just too enthusiastic to take on the task. And let's just take a look at the... Let's go back and sell some items. I got too many stuff here. Yeah, or maybe I should just sell some of these things first. And the where is my seller? My seller is over there. I tend to put things into... let me see. Let me just sell all these things. No, shift right click is to sell, by the way. I mean, every game has their own nuances when it comes to how to... Yeah, a bit of like decision here, but most of the time it's just like things are just set it off. So just I want to put this one in first because I'm not sure whether that one was a better one or not. Okay, let's do it again. All right, now I hope I can get through that. Maybe I was just a little bit too fast to get into the action. But yeah, let's see. There is chest here. Where is the item? There was some item here. It's gone. Huh? Wow, everything respawn. Wow, this is really cool. Infuse. And you wonder where's my wolf, right? Me too. Like without wolf, I'm like nobody. Oh, suddenly one of the wolf come back. Okay, I just want to be very careful here because I have no idea what. Maybe I aggro too many. Maybe I just aggro too many. Maybe I need to slowly get my way through it. Fantastic. So I level up. Again, there are things that I want to defer thinking, not to think right now. Ah, there you go. I'm going to do this one here. Okay, cool. So I can just keep swiping, heal myself a little bit, perhaps. Wow! That was pretty hard stuff, huh? Was it here that I got it like owned? Or somewhere else? Maybe it was here, I can't remember. I was owned twice, same spot. Maybe not. Just let me be careful here. Okay, now since I feel that perhaps I need to be a little bit maybe I need to... It's so many one shot, right? Just that's it done. So I'm inclined to just build up my stamina a little bit because that seems rather important to do a little bit of heal. So I just do too much toward this point. Doesn't matter. I can reset if I really want to, although I don't intend to. Okay, so I don't know. Third attempt. If I can do it, I can do it. I can't do it, then I won't sweat over it. There must be some paragraph that I miss. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't like rush into things. These things on the floor, maybe. maybe I just I just let the pet does its own thing. Try not to interfere. Leave the job to the pro. Okay, so far, not too bad. I think it was some void damage that kind of like owned me kind of a few times. Avoid the fire, avoid the telegraph there. Man, there's too many of them. Yeah, I think this kind of voice on the floor one-shot me, so I just need to be careful. Okay, a bit of like a kiting here, there. Whoa. Maybe my void kind of like you see, one thing cool about this game is that you could potentially dodge if you want. It just that takes so much more effort. Yeah, that's it. Hey, I think I'm getting it. Yeah, I don't know whether there's an XP penalty. Whoa, you see that? What on earth is that thing over there? Let me just throw a totem there. Well, at least there's a totem. Ooh. Wow, that was hard. But okay, it's doable. It's just a matter of learning how to play this game. And not to rush into everything or anything you see. So yeah, I mean, it's a sufficient amount of challenge for sure. And but it's not impossible. And it's not frustrating like Wolcen. Boss time? Where on earth are these come from? This is no good, huh? Whoa! Avoid. Wow. Woo. A bit of excitement here. Avoid. AoE. Enrage. Energize, sorry. Energize. How? Yeah, that's it. Cool. Yeah, it's cool. I got it. So what have I got in return is potentially a nothing actually. And for level 2, like, you know, huh? You mean I've been like trying my best to survive? I got a level 2 item. But yeah, so I've got into Temple of Etera. The boss fight was fantastic. I mean, I love it, right? Big boss. I always say that it's good to have bosses that are huge size because you can then, see what you're hitting. I think back in the Marvel Hero days, for example, you can see that, sometimes I do feel that the bosses are a little bit too small. But yeah, I mean, I like it. The bosses are kind of big here. And you can avoid stuff, And there you go, unlock this guy here. So yeah, I'm not going to play through this guy, but just to give you a, overall sense of how this game is. I hope that you can sense that I'm very excited about it as well, because this is a really solid game, well polished as a beta. And I think there'll be sufficient amount of fun around it. But like I said, I mean, there are something that I observe. If it is not a deal breaker for you, go and grab it. It's fun. You won't regret it. All right. So thank you very much for watching. And I'll definitely see you again soon. Bye.